Inside Michigan Basketball is presented by Meyer.
We just passed the midway point of the Big Ten season, so we have a lot of work to do, but we're excited to get back after it and solve some puzzles that we have and get a little bit better. We like our team a lot. We think there's great substance. I know people outside of our tribe will call our guys these derogatory names, mercenaries and whatnot. We have a group of guys that love playing with each other. They appreciate Michigan, and when you see how connected they are, I don't know how you would, I guess, classify them as guys playing just for money when they all sacrificed a great deal of money to do what they're doing together. And so we have a long way to go, but very, very happy with being in position to compete at the midway point.
The mercenary thing really seems to have gotten your attention. Do you take that a little bit personally?
Yes,
yeah,
of course. I mean, especially year two. I mean, how many? Look, I get it, man. I think everyone would rather us just come in and sign a bunch of freshmen and lose and try to grow it organically. But our job from day one was to win.
They've certainly been up to the challenge. That's now 48 wins and counting the past 2 years. The most recent Thursday night at home against Penn State, a team that almost got them on the road in Happy Valley earlier this year.
If you want to play more minutes tonight, guys, be our best offensive rebound. You will play at least 30% more minutes than you would otherwise if you're our best offensive rebounder. Defensively, communication, that will tell us if we're locked in. There's no reason for coming here to practice the way we've been practicing and then come out and not perform like that in front of fans with our uniforms on in the games. Finish possessions, every possession, unlike what we did at Penn State. We weren't very physical. We weren't very quick to the ball. 5 guys pursuing the ball, and then we run. Leave tonight with the number 1 defensive efficiency in the country with some separation. We're number 1 going into tonight. Let's make that gap a little bit wider. Guys, we recruited guys who compete and who love to fucking hoop. Guys who compete and love to hoop. So once again, on nights like this when we have to bring our energy, this is why we recruited guys that love it. Because the dudes that don't love to hoop, they're sitting it out. They got no juice. They don't even want to play tonight. April habits, if we're going to get to where we want to get to, we're going to keep developing great habits. And also, fellas, if we leave here tonight, it'll be the best start in the history of Michigan basketball.
Hell yeah.
And when you walk down that hall and you see all those pros and you see the banners, there has been one team that's been able to do what you guys were able to do if we handle this the right way tonight. Let's go compete for 40 minutes, get after these guys, and start developing real April habits so we don't have to flip a switch in April and change what we've been doing. All right, let's go, man.
The Wolverines and Nittany Lions' previous meeting this season exactly 1 month ago. After giving up the first hoop, the Wolverines then rattled off the next 15 points. Check out this pinball bucket.
Deflects around, Lendemore gets it, and he finds McKinney underneath low on the right.
Facing a Penn State team playing shorthanded due to injury and illness, big man Adai Mara hits the glass for a putback. 2 of his 11.
Timer at 4, steps back, foot on the line, long 2, up and it swirls out. Offensive board, Mara, easy putback.
LJ Kaysen was instant offense off the bench, scoring 7 points in a 2.5-minute stretch. He finished with 12.
Right baseline, Kaysen takes it in, laying it up with the right block, left-handed. 15 straight for Michigan, feed it in toward Johnson. Shot rejected by Hauser, but the deflection comes down to Kaysen, who loves scoring against Penn State.
The Wolverines were cruising, getting to the rim at will. Yaxel Lendemore takes the dish from Elliot Cadeau, warming up the stanchion for Damari Burnett, who threw down 3 straight.
Tschetter scooping pass, Burnett goes up, bad intention, thunders it down with 2 hands. Zips a pass right baseline, Burnett goes in, jams it down again. Feed left side, Burnett drives in on Dillion. Another dunk, this one left baseline with a little extra force.
Burnett scored 15 in the first half, but was far from done. Rez Johnson Jr. joined the jam session with a monster throwdown of his own. He also scored a dozen. The Wolverines led by 32 at the break, 56-24. The second half was a formality as Michigan registered its 7th win of 40-plus points. Burnett kept finding the bottom.
Skip it, Burnett, left corner for his career high, and it goes!
He finished 11 of 16.
Burnett does, right wing, yes again! 26 for Damari!
For a career-high 31, including 7 of 10 from behind the arc.
I had a great mindset before the game and just ready to, it was a lot of times I was going to be open and just playing with the flow of our offense. We have so many unselfish guys, hence the assist numbers as a team as well. So it's just a credit to those guys hitting me in the right spots, and tonight I delivered.
When you're shooting that well, is it hard not to be selfish out there?
No, not at all. I mean, it's against my nature to be selfish, but at the same time, those are the things that you work on and taking good shots, and that's just a part of, my repertoire and what I do. And the coaching staff, tells us to be confident. And so if I'm open, I'm going to shoot it. If not, make sure my teammate get open and make sure I hit them with a pass.
Freshman Trey McKinney was the 5th Wolverine in double digits and the 3rd with 12 points.
Back McKinney off the screen, shoots a 3, swishes it down.
Michigan shot 61% for the game, behind 15 three-pointers and 50 points in the paint. The Wolverines win 110-69, improving to 21-1, the best 22-game start in program history.
And that means everything. We talked about it before the game, how important that was to us, and just to set Michigan history. I mean, there's so many greats that came before us, and just to be a part of something special with this group of guys is something that we'll never forget.
As special as this team appears to be, does this just feel like one of those kind of road marks on the way to something bigger?
For sure. I mean, we have and had goals, to start the season, and those goals are very well much still in play, and we're dedicated, inspired, and all together into doing it together. We're balled into it, and it takes games like this to continue to build and, playing the right way. And then when it comes March and April, we're doing it again.
It just means a lot for us to be a part of history, and it just means that we have a bright future ahead of us, and we need to keep going.
After the break, we're joined by head coach Dusty May. Later, Will Tschetter on playing outdoor winter hoops in Minnesota, and the women make it 2 straight at MSU. Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you by Meijer, proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. And by Michigan Medicine. There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer.
Joined as always by the head coach, Dusty May. Coach, 21-1, best 22-game start in program history. Kind of frame this for us. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to this program?
In the short term, it's a heck of an honor when you look at the history and tradition, the players that have played here, the coaches that have coached here, and for us to do this is a testament to a lot of work and sacrifice. And these guys have came together and formed a very cohesive unit.
When you have a game like Thursday night, when the other team is clearly outmanned, Penn State had some injury and illness, how do you get your team ready to play?
Well, obviously they're injury depleted, and so you could have a letdown. So we talked a lot about challenging ourselves and competing with ourselves and trying to get better in February, but also we had a chance to set the new standard with being 21-1, something that's never been done, and our guys responded to that. I feel like it gave them a jolt, but the first 5 to 8 minutes we were just okay, and I think the last 30 or so we found a really good rhythm. Will Tschetter came in the first half and made an immediate contribution and changed the complexion of the game with his passing and effort.
What stands out the most for you for this game? Because you're in a blowout situation, but the guys just seem so happy for each other, and they still feel like they're always playing for each other.
Yeah, it is basketball. It's a child's game, and it's supposed to be fun. We work incredibly hard, and we challenge ourselves and each other daily, but at the end of the day, we're very, very fortunate. We're blessed to be doing what we do every day, and we can't lose sight of that. So, like I said, we want to make it extremely challenging, but also let's not lose the joy that comes from competing and playing a game we all love.
So when you watch a guy in a heater like Namari Burnett was on Thursday night, when you're watching it from the bench, kind of what goes through your mind? Just kind of like wind him up and let him go?
Really just continue to play good basketball. We don't really want our guys chasing stats and numbers. Sometimes when you're close to a triple-double, it's a natural thing to do. But I was just more pleased with our guys continue to play the right way. I thought Namari was the recipient of some really good passes, some quick swings, and some great screens to get him freed up. I don't think a lot of his threes were as difficult as they have been some games, and that's a credit to his teammates.
Blowout win. What's it do for a team morale when a lot of guys get to play and a lot of guys get in the score sheet like they did in this one?
Well, it keeps the young guys engaged. It gives them very valuable game reps. They need to know what it feels like, the intensity, the emotion that goes into it, and also being able to concentrate when there's 13,000 fans there and there's a lot of distracting information going on. So there's a lot of value that comes with that, and I thought the young guys did very well, especially the birthday boy Oscar.
Okay, I got Will Tschetter coming out here in a few minutes to join me to shoot a couple buckets and answer a few questions. But how much has Will improved during your 2 years with him?
Will's a very, very good player, a very meaningful contributor to this team, and he's improved every day. His knowledge of the game, his conditioning, his skill level, he's improved in every facet.
Coach, thanks. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it.
When we come back, we'll visit with Will, the longest tenured Wolverine.
Welcome back to Inside Michigan Basketball. We're joined by graduate student Will Tschetter, the elder statesman of this Wolverine club. And Will, I'm just going to hit you between the eyes right away. We're going to do some shooting while we're doing this.
All right, let's do it.
Hit you between the eyes right away. Your Michigan career, the ups, the downs. Just kind of tell us about it a little bit.
Man, the experience at Michigan has been absolutely exceptional. From everything about it, from school to the teams that I've been on, the people I've met, the connections I've made. It's just been absolutely unreal. Super fortunate. And yeah, it's crazy that it's almost done.
How much have you improved as a player during your time here?
Man, I've improved so much, just from knowledge of the game, understanding where to be, playing off the ball, coming from high school, playing primarily on the ball. It's just been a total, kind of, learning experience. It's been great to be a part of.
How much have you improved as a person? How much have you grown up here?
Oh my, so much. I came in as such a little kid. Obviously redshirted my first year, which was, one of the best decisions I've ever made. I've said that before. And grew and, taking care of myself, being able to interact with different kinds of people, and just growing as an overall person.
So Dusty talks all the time about the guys who make the sacrifices for the betterment of the team, and your name is pretty much at the top of that list. Where does that selflessness come from?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just doing anything, to win, because at the end of the day, winning has such an effect on, our happiness as players and people that are a part of this program. And ultimately, I know what it, means to everyone to, have wins for the team in the rafters. And that's the goal at the end of the day.
So I remember as a kid shooting hoops in the driveway. I'd go out there by myself. It was very therapeutic.
Yeah.
Do you have that sort of sense when you're in here by yourself shooting some jumpers?
Oh, yeah, of course. There's nothing better than just, coming in, getting shots up, letting it fly, seeing the ball go in, not having to worry about, maybe a defensive assignment or, spacing with other guys on the floor. I've been doing that with going back to my driveway, my court right outside of our barn back home, shooting hoops with my mom and dad and my brothers, some of my best moments playing.
You ever shovel the driveway and shoot in the wintertime?
Oh my. we would normally have a little time, when the actual season happened, but then some of my best, memories of being on the court back home were when March Madness would be happening, our seasons would all be done. We'd go and we'd chisel the ice and the snow off of the court, and we'd just do right along one of the three-point lines because we have two sides. And we'd go watch a game, and then we'd go back outside and play until our hands were cold, and then we'd go right back in to warm up and watch games, then we'd go right back outside. So yeah, we've definitely had the axe to chisel and then the shovels to scrape up the ice.
So what's the most number of three-pointers you've made in a row in this gym or in Chrysler on the big court? I want you to pick it up for me while we're talking.
Yeah, I think my max number is 45, actually. I hit it in a practice, right after a practice on that rim right there, earlier this fall.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
What did that feel like?
I don't know. I honestly sort of blacked out when I was shooting. It was in this left corner, and I was just doom, 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 doom. And then, it was pretty cool at the end. It was rattle them off.
Last question for you. If you could go back and give your freshman self a piece of advice,
man,
what would it be?
Oh man, there's a lot of things that I would tell my freshman self that I don't think I can say. I would honestly say just like stick with it and meet as many cool people as you can at this place, and just cherish every moment, every relationship, and because it doesn't get better than this.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Up next, the women with the program record Big Ten winning streak. Welcome back. Wednesday, the 8th-ranked women had their hands full against Nebraska. The Cornhuskers led by a basket at the half and upped it to 6 early in the third quarter. But the Wolverines went on to outscore the visitors 46-32 in the entirety of the second half. Silas Swords was sensational. A game-high 28 points, 2 off her career high.
Corner kick, Swords, 3. You betcha!
Olivia Olson posted a double-double with 21 points and 10 caroms. And Ashley Sofolkanik grabbed 13 rebounds to go along with her 9 points and 3 blocks. Michigan wins 88-76, setting a program record with its 9th consecutive Big Ten victory. The dub was also the club's 20th, the 17th 20-win campaign in program history, 13 of those under head coach Kim Barnes-Arico.
Last Sunday, the Wolverines were at MSU, number 9 versus number 13. Just the second time ever that the two programs met, with both in the top 25. And this one certainly lived up to the billing.
This became an instant classic, with the teams trading the lead 17 times.
Swords, try it again. That one's good. Nothing but net. Silas Swords.
Michigan led by 3 after the first quarter. There were 13 ties in the game. MSU's Jalen Brown makes it 33 all. She finished tied with a team best 21 points.
Up the floor, Holloway. Nice move. Stop and start. Got to her left, laid it in.
Mila Holloway and then Ashley Sofolkanik boosted Michigan's lead to 6 points late in the second. But MSU finished the half on a 7-0 run to lead 42-41 at intermission.
Wolverines with numbers. Here goes Holloway again. Right to the basket. Knocked down. No foul, but scoring.
The Wolverines used an 11-2 stretch to start the third quarter and increased the lead to a half dozen.
Inbounds Holloway. Swords open. Catch. Shoot. 3. Bang!
But the Spartans used another 7-0 run to take a 65-64 lead heading into the fourth. Michigan held the edge for most of the final frame. Holloway led them with a career-high 26 on 11 of 16 shooting.
Double team. Back to Holloway on the replace. Mila for 3. Bang!
But MSU closed the gap and had the ball with 10 seconds to go and trailing by a bucket.
Blair driving right. Blair into Dudley. Shot banked in. Timeout, Michigan.
Blair Kennedy forces overtime. She also had 21 for MSU. The Spartans scored the first hoop in OT before the Wolverines went on a 10-0 charge to clinch their second straight win at the Breslin Center. Olivia Olson tossed in 23, and Silas Swords notched 15. The final from East Lansing, 94-91.
Last year, I didn't fully understand the rivalry until they came and smacked us in our face and on our own home court, beat us by 30. We were able to go back and return the favor later on, but being able to carry that over into this year was big for sure.
We won last year there too, and so it's the best feeling in the locker room after. It's a pleasure playing your rival anytime, and so we're excited to get them at home too.
Going on the road and winning there is really, really special. It's different. That's an all-toughness game, and what a great game for the state of Michigan. 2 of the best women's basketball teams in the country battling out in the state. What a great environment. I hope all those people are here for our game on February 15th.
There's a huge one at Chrysler Sunday. Michigan hosts number 2 UCLA. The top 2 teams in the Big Ten. The Bruins coming in 12-0, the Wolverines 11-1. We'll be right back.
Inside Michigan Basketball is brought to you by Meijer, proud supporter of hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest.
It's going to be a very busy week for the Wolverines. 3 games in 7 days, beginning Sunday at Ohio State, Wednesday at Northwestern, and then Saturday, UCLA comes to town when the 1966, 76, and 86 Big Ten championship teams will all be recognized. That's our show for this week. We'll see you next time right here on Inside Michigan Basketball.